Welcome back. You're watching Bottom Line. Well, shifting focus now. Employment opportunities continue to be a major factor in the Northeast. Every year, thousands from the region migrate outside on the lookout for opportunities. In these times, there's a company based in NCR which is bringing hiring to the doorsteps, hiring people from right here from the region through a unique initiative which is called a shuttle bus hiring initiative, and the company is Teleperformance. It is hiring as many as 2,000 youths from the Northeast. Teleperformance, mind you, is a leading provider of outsourced customer experience management and digital integrated business service. Its CEO, Aditya Arora, has made up his mind to hire as many as 2,000 youths from the Northeast this year. His mission is to have a more inclusive workplace, and he believes that Northeast is unique, has a lot of potential, the potential that he calls untapped. And he's here, the company is here to tap that untapped potential, at the same time bringing hiring services to the doorsteps. The TP Shuttle, let me tell you something about TP Shuttle. It's a bus on the run which will be hiring across the states of Northeast. They are already in Guwahati, and let me now speak to the man himself, Aditya Arora, who is joining us from Gurgaon, and he will tell us everything firsthand about this very unique initiative, a first time in the Northeast. Aditya Arora, welcome to Northeast Live, and it's an honor to have you here. Big hiring going on in the Northeast. Tell us everything about your Teleperformance Shuttle initiative. What prompted you to initiate something like this, and why the Northeast? Also tell us something about Teleperformance, the company.
Okay, firstly, Navron, and thank you to you and your team for having us on this call. I have with me a few of my colleagues, and I can say on their behalf and the 80,000 other colleagues that are not part of this call right now, that we are delighted to be finally entering the Northeast part of our country. Before we go into TP, I'll talk a little about what you said about about the TP Shuttle. So, and before that also, I think, Navron, most importantly, why Northeast? And to my mind, and to everybody's mind in the TP fraternity in India and globally, I think Northeast is probably the most well-respected part of our country when it comes to the hospitality sector, when it comes to the kind of people it produces, it brings to the foray. And we all know about that from the several kind of interactions we've had with them across the hospitality sector. And I just thought that that's an area which is neglected to the extent of not being involved with the most, or probably one of the fastest growing verticals in our economy, which is the outsourcing vertical in itself. And so it was just plain common sense, although we are delayed, to enter into the Northeast area. We are spread in 13 other cities in India itself. And we've been the pioneer in entering into, for example, Indore, into Jaipur, or amongst the pioneers in Jaipur, at least. Indore, we were the first guys. Mohali, and some other regions as well. So Northeast, like I said, was just plain common sense. We were delayed, but nevertheless, our full focus now is to really invade that area positively and hire as many colleagues as we can, number one. Number two, I think Northeast, even with data supporting us, is one of those regions across India which has the maximum diversity between male and female populations. And we want to, as a company, globally, Teleperformance has taken on a challenge of improving our ethnicity, our inclusivity, and our diversity ratios across the globe, including India. And I think by embracing Northeast in its fullest, we will hopefully also start to see a tick in the box on that big goalpost for us. About TP Shuttle, essentially it is our mobile recruitment initiative. We have already gone down the path of being able to recruit virtually, literally, Navarun. So, you could be the recruitment initiative, the associate from Teleperformance, and I could be the potential candidate. There is now technology built into the TP system for me to get hired virtually. But at the same time, you yourself mentioned that there are technology challenges in the Northeast that still need to be addressed, and some other challenges. Because we said, if our Northeast citizens and our friends can't come here, let's go to where they are. So essentially, this mobile recruitment van, which the nomenclature, the name is TP Shuttle, is ideally just going to be able to reach out to all those potential colleagues who we can recruit on the go. So essentially, they just come in. They'll have when I say come in, it's not an office; it's a bus which we've converted into an office, mobile office for you. If you please, essentially, somebody will just enter, put in their application form on one of the iPads there, and just wait to be interviewed. They just need to bring in some part of their kind of personal data in terms of paperwork, etc. And then we quickly have a look at that and start the interviews. And the intent is to be able to make an offer there and then for people to join Teleperformance across two models. One is in the cities that you're present, and if we need people to be present in those cities, then we request these colleagues to join us there. But if somebody prefers to work from home, then about 45% of our revenue in TP India is coming in from work from home today, right? And that's a big number. And imagine 2 years back, it was zero. So we've taken
especially
it to
post
literally 40-45%, and also seeing how can we make it a balanced ratio of 50% each. But even now, we're delighted that we've reached the number that we have, and therefore are able to give the flexibility to these colleagues to be able to work from home if they so choose not to work from any of our offices spread across the country. And if you're able to really hire these people on the go across the 3-4 states to begin with, our target is really to hire a minimum of 1,000 people this year. The aspirational goal is to hire 2,000 people this year, just through this initiative in the Northeast itself, Navron.
So you're looking to hire as many as 2,000 people from Northeast. How long do you think will the recruitment process take? How is the process going on? How long the entire process may take, roughly?
We've just gone live in Guwahati to begin with. Now, Varun, as you know, we want to hire anything between a minimum, like I said, 1,000 up to 2,000 before December end.
Now, diverse and inclusive workforce is something that you are focusing on, as you already mentioned. But do you think that is something, this diversity is something which is still missing to an extent when it comes to companies operating in the metros of India, and that is something that you are trying to change in your own way?
No, I mean, just speaking at a corporate level, I think every company has this as a goal, has taken as a challenge, and is trying to embrace on improving the ratio of male to females. So I think, in our industry as well as other industries or verticals, there is a focused approach on improving this. The difference lies in the speed at which we embrace this. I can speak for the outsourcing industry. We really have two pillars on which we operate. One is called the high tech, the other is called the high touch. The high tech is where we look at transformation through technology, through robotics, through AI, and say what can we do for our clients around the high tech approach itself. At the same time, I said we have high touch, which is essentially what can we do extra for our staff, which is out of the ordinary, i.e. hiring practices. So the TP Shuttle is a balanced approach between high tech and high touch, because it's using technology to its fullest to be able to hire people where they're most comfortable being placed right now. And high touch is because of the approach that we're taking in its first place itself. Our thought process, now when I can speak about TP India, is really, it's just a matter of time before we are able to convert the ratio in favor of females. And I'm not talking only about the entry level or the leadership level. I'm talking about across the levels, and that's our focus. Many companies have this focus of just looking at what can you do at the leadership level. Our focus is not that. Our focus is across the board. What can we change on diversity and the other two metrics as well.
Now, there has also been sizable representation in the service sectors, the BPO, BPM sectors to be precise already from people from Northeast. But it is perhaps for the first time that a company has taken an initiative like yours. How has been the response from the youths overall? You have started the process in Guwahati. How has been the response so far from the youths here?
I think the feedback, initial signs are very encouraging, and that's exactly what we thought would be the case. From the first employee that we hired as part of our recruitment team, and then we, I think, have close to now about a team of 10 or 12 colleagues just as part of the recruitment team at in the Northeast itself. We took a sense check from them, of course, apart from doing all the data analytics we needed to before entering into a region. But nothing is better than hearing people speak for themselves. And when we were recruiting them, we asked them, how do you feel about this initiative? And they said, look, I think it's going to be a super hit. And they said, we're going to spread the word around our friends, our families. And we said, okay, do that. And please come back after 2 weeks of speaking with them and telling us how it looks. And we also told them, by the way, that, look, your jobs are not under threat. So even if this fails, we are happy to transfer you into other parts of our region. So please don't worry about that. So that was a big thing for them to hear from us. I think then when they came back, the response was even more encouraging in terms of saying, I think we are onto something big. There are, of course, we know the employment rates and the one minus that across the country, including Northeast. There is a lot of optimism about this initiative, Navarun, and I think we will be able to meet the targets that I shared the numbers on.
Are you also coordinating with the respective state governments or any other stakeholders on this so as to ensure that maximum number of youths can derive the benefit of the TP shuttle service, the initiative rather?
Not yet. We've not approached anybody in the government sector right now, Arun, because we have a lot of experience in setting up new cities, doing pilots by ourselves. So I think we are good for now in terms of starting this, but I'm sure the government will be super supportive if we were to reach out to them, but we've not done this so far.
Absolutely. You just mentioned how Northeast is special. It's an untapped potential. So what are the roles that you are looking to absorb these youths into, the one from the Northeast that you are hiring, the 2,000 odd youths? Any specific roles that you are looking to absorb these youths into?
Yeah. Navarun, actually, you're right. It depends on what the candidate is looking for, basis his or her profile. But being a BPO, our maximum headcount lies at the entry level, followed by the supervisory level. So we are really keenly looking forward to hiring at the entry and the first level of supervisory range. But if there are people who come in and who qualify for managerial director positions, we are very happy to take them on board as well. Because we are a growing organization, we have a requirement for hiring a lot of people across profiles and across functions. It could be HR, it could be technology, it could be training, it could be operations, administration, finance. So anybody who can fit into the bus will be absorbed at that point in time across levels, to be specific.
As you've already mentioned, work from home is contributing to around 40% of your net profit post-pandemic, during the pandemic. So do you think work from home can be a reality post-COVID that is now? Is there any option of that? And that is something all companies should explore to the highest level, as this also stops migration, hundreds and thousands of youths going out from the region every year, and also gives employees the option to settle for a bit less when it comes to the package. That is also good for your pockets, a win-win situation for all.
Yeah, I'll just correct just one point that you made, Navran, to begin with, which is that we pay less. Maybe you made an assumption that we pay less for people working from home, which is not correct. More or less the same amount of the package of the CTC is the same whether you're working from office or from home, right? Number one. Number two is that, so there's no saving to Teleperformance. I'm not sure about the approach that the other outsourcing firms take. The approach here from our side is to be as flexible with our colleagues as possible. So if they prefer working from home, and we can assign them to clients who are okay on their businesses working from home or being serviced from home, then the marriage is happening, right? If a client insists on working from office, being serviced from office, then we will offer those kind of roles to those staff as well. Number two. Number three is that as far as we are concerned, we are very happy to have colleagues come to office and work. And there you will appreciate, in fact, the cost of operations for technology working from office will go up because of all the utility expenses and the management expenses and the administrative expenses that come into being, correct? Are you with me so far? Even then, we are encouraging people to work from office if they like or work from home. And if they say, I'd like to work from office, most welcome to do so. In any of the 13 cities that we present, please be a guest and join us over there. So from our perspective, the approach is around being flexible and being transparent 100%. And so if our Northeast colleagues want to work from home and we have a fitment for them with a client, then that's the approach we will take across levels and not only at the entry level.
Now to the big question that we ask all recruiters, all companies that come to the Northeast, any plans to open a branch, an office here in the Northeast anytime soon?
There are two parts to this. One is that if you're offering the flexibility of work from home in the Northeast, then the need to open a center, and when we open centers due to economies of scale, it must be a sizable center, right? It can't be just one half floor or something like that, right? So if the need to open a center would be if tomorrow work from home comes to a stop, then most certainly, I'm sure we will want to enter into one of the 3-4 states in the northeast of India itself. But if the work from home model continues in that part of our country and clients are happy with that, then there is no need to open a center in the first place, because we'd be more than happy to take the number from 1,000, 2,000 to 5,000 people as well in the Northeast, and who could continue to work from home. Or if they choose to work from any other of the cities that TP operates in, we'll offer those opportunities to them. But if there's a need, we are more than happy to open an office, an operating center in the Northeast as well.
Absolutely, good to hear that. Finally, when it comes to the outsourcing industry, initially people are still skeptic. So what is your advice to the youngsters, and how is the industry doing overall despite everything, if I ask that as far as India is concerned?
So I think India is the fastest growing country when it comes to outsourcing. There is enough and more data to support that number. There are countries like Colombia, there are countries in Latin America which are also picking up pace. So is Philippines. But our country is still growing the maximum when it comes to the outsourcing opportunities. The one thing that is a big opportunity for us, and I think Northeast is one part of our country that can fulfill it faster than the other parts of our country, is supporting our customers in more than one language, which is English. So we have requirements coming for Cantonese, for Japanese, for other languages that we don't service out of India. And I think if there's one region which can pick those up very fluently, is our northeast of India itself, number one. Number two, we know the travel sector is picking up again. Therefore, not only airlines, but hotels and restaurants and et cetera, picking up again. And our Northeast citizens are probably the best in this business of hospitality. I personally believe that, and there's data to support that as well. And I think for them, they have huge opportunities coming up once again, post-COVID, in these sectors which they're very happy, prevalent. They will have family, friends working in these sectors that I spoke about. But also the outsourcing business is one area that they should get into for sure. We have many success stories in our own organization, and then I know a lot of colleagues, ex-colleagues and friends in the outsourcing industry itself, who started with the travel sector, the hotel sector, and have done very well in the outsourcing sector, or vice versa as well. So my only advice to all the youngsters there is to pick up the first opportunity that they get. If you choose to work with Teleperformance, it's the world's largest and fastest, one of the fastest growing organizations, the outsourcing vertical. Opportunities are many and across the board. Please join us if you'd like to. And then really your success depends on how good you are in your job, right? That's where it really starts and ends. Navarun, that's my firm advice. That's the advice I requested my HR team to give to the recruiters that we hired from Northeast. And we said, you guys can make it very big. And you don't have to just be a recruiter at entry level. You could become a supervisor. You could become a vice president for recruitment tomorrow. The sky is the limit. You have to decide how much can you take on. So in a fast-growing outsourcing space, in a fast-growing organization like Teleperformance, sky's the limit. I will always suggest all our Northeast citizens to friends to pick up the opportunity as soon as they can.
Absolutely. We wish that your TP Shuttle initiative is a success. You hire more than 2,000 youths in the Northeast. In the coming years, you hire more and you eventually have an office here too. All the success to you, Mr. Aditya Arora, CEO, Teleperformance.
Thank you for your time, Navarun, and to your team as well. We are very excited to be there, to say the least. If you're able to catch the bus one day, do send me a picture of yours. I will put it on my board here for sure. And our commitment is to grow Northeast. That's one part of the country that we really love, but have not been able to see too much of success in. And we'll go all out to make it a success. Thank you again for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. That was Aditya Arora, CEO, Teleperformance. A big initiative there to hire from the Northeast, hiring on the wheels. They're targeting to hire 2,000 youths from the Northeast. Also, a day may come when companies like this will also look to have an office here in the region. So all you youths out there can go and grab this opportunity as and when the TP Shuttle goes to your city, your town. That's a wrap of Bottom Line tonight.